Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode today. I'm just going to be discussing about what I truly think in my political views. Um, really just to start off, what do I think about America? What do I believe in? I believe America's been dead. I don't even think it even barely got up from the beginning. I think it probably went downhill during the 1800s, where, you know, freedom of speech simply doesn't exist. You can't talk bad about a certain person, you can't talk bad about or expose certain things from the rich and the corrupt. Of course, if you try to expose anything that had to do with the corruptness of the rich and the elite, you got shot or any method of death. Um, just like how they killed Michael Jackson, just like how they destroyed Alex Jones' life, and just like how they have destroyed so many lives before that, my journalist life that actually tried to expose Epstein very early on in his career when he was doing tax evasion for one of his pals back in the day. Um, Obviously, hate speech that's completely against the First Amendment and is completely it is against the First Amendment, simple as that. Then you got your Second Amendment rights. They that has been destroyed extremely because that was made for protection and defense of your family or friends or just in case the government went rogue. The government goes rogue now, what happens? We're all dead. Nukes drop on us. Drone bombs kill us. Um, Secret agencies try and kill us all, right? Um, Truly, if the government were to ever go fully woke and try to kill the American people, they'd be highly successful because we're saying no chance against the government. Therefore, the Second Amendment is irrelevant and completely destroyed. I mean, heck, it's hard just to even get a pistol nowadays. It's ridiculous. Um, any restriction on any type of gun or anything like that is completely against the Second Amendment right? Simple as that. Um, the rich and elite, I think they control the entire system, left to right, and I think that goes for every single country, not just America. I believe every single country is extremely corrupt and run by the rich and elite with the entire human trafficking system that was just the tip of the iceberg. Epstein. I think it goes a lot deeper, of course, with George Soros and then with American politics and so on and so forth, and keeps on going into this one big ball of absolute corruption and chaos, right? America has been dead for such a long time, it's not even funny. Ever since the first censoring attempt or even the first law against the freedom of speech, even the Second Amendment speech, the Constitution has been broken brutally to a point where I don't even believe that the Constitution even exists in America anymore. Do I believe that we are still in a democracy? To a certain extent, yes. To another certain extent, no. Do I still believe that America is the most safest country and still probably the best country to live in? Probably. Probably is, and it's probably yes. But that does not mean that we cannot expose a dirtbag, rich, and elite corruption in America. And I am sick of these rich and elite people thinking that they're so high and mighty, sitting on the tails, sipping their tea and their coffee with their fancy little pots and plates, and thinking that they're all that. When in reality, they're just a bunch of scumbags who just want to ruin you, the American people, the working class. They've been destroying the middle class for God knows how long. They've been, brainwashing people into thinking that, you know, you better shut up, right? You know, we're gonna run this entire propaganda system. The news, the media, it's all propaganda for you to believe in their BS and their lies. Political division, America, the left versus the right, that doesn't exist. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Didn't matter which one you voted for. Didn't really matter what party you voted for. They're equally corrupt in their own sick ways. They all work together into one system. You think news and the media are telling the truth? No. The only ones that tell the truth anymore is Moon, a YouTube channel, Tucker Carlson podcast, YouTube channel as well, Joe Rogan. Even then, I think he actually got compromised, so he might be out the window. But Tucker Carlson and Moon, I know I can 100% trust because they're not gonna have any sort of biased opinion, and hopefully no amount of money would ever take the truth down from them. Um, I am one of those crazy people that believe that the moon landing was fake. No, I don't think the moon landing was fake. I don't. I'm not one of those people. Um, I don't believe that the world is flat. That's just unlogical in itself. Because if the world was flat, then everyone would be flat. Everything would be flat. Mountains won't exist. Hills won't exist. If the Earth was flat. So I think that's another unlogical opinion. Not to mention, if you would think that the world is flat, would you have airplanes going off the edge of the world? I know gravity and all that, rocket crap. Now that makes sense to me. I definitely do believe that the world is round because that's the most logical explanation. Um, but anyway, getting back, the political corruption. So, of course, you have your propaganda machines of the media that the government fully controls, the rich and elite control, like Fox News, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, CNN, Newsmax, News Nation, um, and really any other news station, period. I don't believe any of the news stations actually tell the truth. I think all of them just lie, talk out the butthole, and they're biased towards their own party and political beliefs. It's not journalism. It's, unfortunately, freedom of speech. That's kind of the risk that you want with freedom of speech. You have these propaganda pumping out machines from the government, right? Um, I have to say, do I believe that we live in America, like the true America that the founding fathers wanted, like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, all those people? No. Clearly that has been destroyed and dismantled horrendously throughout the years, so pretty much not even recognizable. I don't even think they anticipated for the rich and elite to be the ones in charge of American civilization. It was supposed to be based on the American people's merits. Each individual person had the power to control the political system, control what we think and thought and everything else, but no, that's all run by the rich and elite and the powerful. The the rich and elite want to control you. They want to propagandize you and all this other stuff to believe in quote unquote the American dream when the American dream is dead. Clearly dead. I mean, hyperinflation, number one. Number two, um, not a single corporation in America really gives a crap about you. You're just another slave in their system that they can just, either underpay you or they just really don't give a crap about you in a nutshell. Um, let's see. Thankfully, we still have freedom of speech on YouTube at least. And if the CIA or the FBI wants to go ahead assassinate me, you know what, go right ahead. I don't care. I really don't. Because I believe in a God that is more powerful than your stupid system. And that's the truth. My God is from the Bible and is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And if you think you can stop me by any type of money, by any type of threats or violence or anything, you got the wrong person. I don't care about money. Money's nothing. What? The American dollar lost 85% of its value from inflation? Was gonna was gonna dollar gonna be like 5, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years down the line, what, 50 cents? No, I don't care about money. Yeah, I use money to buy all the nice stuff that I have. Yes, I use money to buy this PC that I have. Yes, I've used money for all these nice, blessed things that I have. But money is really worth no value to me. I only bought these things because I knew that these things were gonna be 10 times more expensive. And they are. They really are. Um, this coffee table, I bet you that's what, 5 times more nowadays? The PC, 10 times, 20 times, 50 times more because of freaking Wham. A video game collection? Well, clearly, between that and my coffee table and those retro games right there, they're gonna be worth so much more money because of inflation, and then I do believe that the economy is going to turn into recession. I do. I mean, just look at the evidence. Look how high inflation has gone in recent years. It's insane since 2020. Things like this went down to crapple in terms of the economy. Not to mention, um, just not to mention going back to the video game thing, what Sony did, right? Sony, PlayStation, the company. Oh, suddenly the agency and the CEO were like, you know what? We are the last modern day console that you can actually own your media through your physical disc. Because, Xbox was the first one to get rid of that with the Xbox One, and then Nintendo got rid of it with the Nintendo Switch 2. And PlayStation was the last one to do it. And they'll get rid of physical media, which means you don't own crap. The only way they can own your games anymore nowadays is either going to be buying games for PS5 or below, um, more retro consoles, or you just get GOG, where you can actually own your crap digitally. On like Steam, on like Epic Games, on like the PlayStation Store, the Microsoft Store, the Nintendo Esports Shop. Um, which was really a kick in the nuts because I am a huge PlayStation fan. I've been a PlayStation fan for most of my life since I had the PS3 when I was a kid. Had a blast with it, and this really felt like a kick in the balls for me. It really did because it's like, you know, now all these games, you see all these games, the games in there, the games over there. You don't owe them physically, how much is that going to look like down the line now? Gaming is no longer a hobby that anyone can enjoy. If you are someone who um works and has a family, you can't buy games, man. The only way they can buy games is probably gonna be through GameStop or your third party retail store. Um and the great deals that they have on Steam. And GOG has some great deals too. But gaming is not only getting more and more expensive, now it's gonna be the standard edition for $80 now. What are you supposed to do, man? We can't do nothing but just watch the entire economy of America burn. Like it's nothing. It, it really is insane. Um, with all the elite corruption, with all the rich and elite being a bunch of corrupted dirtbags. Obviously, there's some good ones like Michael Jackson. He was a good one. Obviously Keanu Reeves. I think he's good. Um, but there's very few good rich people. There really is. The entire two-party system is just complete bullcrap. Doesn't actually mean anything in the long run because they all have the exact same um idea. Is to be a bunch of dirtbags because that's what they are. There's a bunch of dirtbags, and I used to be a Trump supporter. That's a crazy thing. I was a huge Trump supporter back in the day, back in 2016 and up. Really, ever since the Epstein files, man, everything, everything's corrupt in this world. We know in the Bible, and the Bible clearly states that this world is corrupt, and it's wicked, and it's wretched, and each and every single one of us all. So it's that we need to turn to Him, build a relationship with Him, pray, and fight back in a peaceful way. In reality, though, none of this bothers me. I don't know if it's because of how desensitized I've become, or it's because I just know one thing. After this life here on Earth, life doesn't matter. Yes, life is a gift from God, and yes, you should enjoy it, and you should follow Christ, and work, work hard on your relationship with Christ and follow Him. But when we die, does it not matter the good works that you did? It does not matter what you did. All that really matters is what type of relationship you had with Christ. If you had a great relationship with Christ, you're going to be making it up to heaven. All the wickedness and the sin is going to be gone. This world is just going to get more and more. This world is just going to continue to be corrupted like it's always been. Really, none of this is new. Just look back at the medieval times and how oppressive those rich people were, and how much of a big system they had. I mean, heck, simply just look at the Bible and just some of those people. Like, it's insane to me. As a kid, I never, you know, I never liked rich people because I always thought they were snotty and stuck up, right? But I never thought it was this bad. I knew they had, some leverage from us in terms of a voice, but I never thought it would have been this bad as it is. And I'm also getting sick of the bull crap that people say. Like, oh, don't say the truth, man. The truth holds, or if it's not nice, don't say it. Is it about to tell the truth and live a lie? Seriously? Seriously. What I said right here today in this video is the truth. Don't believe me? Simple. Just look at the Epstein files. Just look at the exact same propaganda machines that just tries to dehumanize the other political party just for a distraction so that they can do what they always done, which is slowly destroy America from the inside out. So that way they can keep all their money and run away. And mind control us into thinking a certain way. It really is an insane, corrupted world that we live in that's filled with sin, but it's always been like this. Always been like this. Since the biblical days, and simple as that, hasn't gotten worse nor has it gotten better. It's always been like this throughout the centuries. This world to me, it means absolutely nothing. I'd be more happy to die alone and isolated, and I'd be happy with being tortured because I know the truth. Are you going to continue to be under the machine and the propagation of lies? Are you going to be an independent thinker, think for yourself, and actually know the truth? I advise that you guys know the truth, and the truth is this. This world that we live in, it's a sinful, wicked world filled with wretched people like me and you. But our only hope is in Jesus Christ. We can never have hope in a system because systems are always going to fail no matter how good they are or how good they sound. Doesn't matter what systems we do. It's just going to get corrupted anyway because there's always some loophole. Or it's just going to get taken over anyway. Really, money, the games that I have, all the stuff that I have is completely useless. It's just something that I enjoy. The only thing that matters is a relationship with Christ and what Christ wants us to do. Nothing else matters. I'd be happy to die alone, isolated. Nobody knows me. I'd be happy to die that way, if it means, that I have to keep the truth and that's the way that I'm gonna have to live. I'd rather live that than living in a lie, in a fantasy, where one party's better than the other. That the propaganda machines are controlling my brain, to control the way that I'm thinking. And, I'm living a life of hanging out with a bunch of people, um, and just living that type of lifestyle. Like, I don't care about that type of lifestyle, I really don't. So, but yeah, that's just my view on politics. Ladies and gentlemen, just filled corrupted but dirtbags, you can't trust any of them. The only one who we can really trust is God, Jesus Christ. You can't really trust nobody in this world. You really can't. You can really only trust in God. That is my truest advice to anybody. So, thank you all so much for watching. God bless you all. And yes, I am happy. I am not depressed if anyone knows because I know when I die, I'm going to be in heaven. And all this on earth is just going to die. All the sin, all the corruptedness is just going to die at the end. The world is going to be made brand new. And we're going to be falling under Jesus' system, which is the most perfect system ever made. No more of this corrupted bull crap in this world, okay? No more of it. You have a relationship with Christ. You follow Christ with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. You're going to be living the best life The life here on earth is nothing. The life here on earth is sin, and the life on this earth is just temptation. Don't fall into temptation, but instead fall into the truth, which is the Word of God. Thank you all so much for watching. See you all next week.